Okay, welcome to Winston-Salem State's Finance 3357, Personal Financial Planning. I'm Dr. David Stewart, although I prefer Professor Stewart. Um, and what these will be are podcasts that run over the course and the notes from the course. They're not going to replace the notes at all. They may be an introduction to the course because maybe there's a time when maybe you're like me, riding a tractor or something, and your eyes and hands are busy, but you could listen to something. Well, in that case, these might be nice introductions so that when you do read the course material, it'll go much faster and more smoothly. You'll have an idea of what to expect. Okay, so really these are geared toward Winston-Salem State University students, but anyone, of course, is welcome to listen. Um, and we'll start, this is chapter 1, which is week 1, introductions. So little fluffy this first week. Okay. Starting out in the course, we usually go over the syllabus, and you'll notice right away this course is very different than the normal course. First of all, I give you my cell phone number, and I encourage you to text me anytime you have a question. I don't mind text questions. Of course, this is Winston-Salem State, so I'll answer questions from students when I receive them the rest of my career. I don't care if you've graduated 20 years ago. Not a problem. Let me know if you have a finance question. I'll have the answer or find the answer, and I'll get back to you. It's what we do once you're in the Winston-Salem State family. Okay. I do not require anymore for this course the book Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood by Trevor Noah. I used to, but I just don't think we have time for it anymore. I still suggest it. It's an awesome book. I think it opens your eyes to different ways of thinking about money and finance, because a lot of the book focuses on Trevor Noah's financial background and struggles, and I think getting a good feel for that will help any American appreciate that these struggles that you're having could be worse. And ultimately he met success, of course, through a lot of determination and talent, but a lot of use of that talent, a lot of determination and development of it. Okay. This course goes through your whole relationship with money from now till beyond your death. My goal for this course is for you to learn these topics so well that you can teach them to loved ones. My goal for you is not to just learn this stuff. My goal for you is to learn this stuff and put it in action and share with loved ones, and hopefully create a ripple effect of people being more in control of their relationship with money. Part of that is behavioral. Part of that is just knowing the rules and the laws and regulations and how to make wise decisions. This means the course is ethnocentric. It is U.S. based, right? Because there are a lot of laws and regulations, and they differ from country to country, somewhat from state to state, mainly from country to country. So this is a U.S. based view. If your goal is to live and work and have your money relationship in a different country, well, I'm sorry about. I admire that. That's fine, but I'm sorry this course isn't going to address that so much. The behavioral parts will, of course, will work anywhere. Okay. This is typically lecture and discussion format, so to make it more interactive, it's incumbent on students to ask questions. We need questions in this course. Okay, let's get to what you really care about, grading, right? Because everyone wants to also have their nice grade. This course is broken down into 14 weekly quizzes. I'm thinking of doubling that to 2 quizzes, but that's a separate issue. Every week we'll have a different chapter, and every week we'll have a quiz on that chapter. And I'm really thinking about having a second mini quiz every week that's retrospective, purely retrospective, and multiple choice. The main quizzes that focus on the chapter of the week are short answer. I want you to practice interpreting and then responding by describing. In your professional career, don't care what your major is. This course is open to everyone and it welcomes everyone. You could be physics or sociology, or you could be a finance major. Doesn't matter for this course. You need to be able to, in your job, whatever your job will be, you'll need to be able to explain things. Even a famous painter spends a lot of time explaining their paintings to people. They don't just put them out there silently. Um, so I think that's part of your education, is learning to interpret the questions and learning to explain your responses to them. Okay, that's it. There are 14 quizzes, well, possibly 27 if I do the mini quizzes that I hope to do. Um, that is 95% of your course grade. 5% is the final exam. Final exam is different for this course too. The final exam for this course is making a significant course contribution. In other words, to the course. That's not money. That is improving the course for future semesters of the course. Right? It's giving back. This course's material on your relationship with money is constantly evolving. Rules are constantly changing. Discoveries are constantly being made about the behavioral side. This course can always be improved. Sometimes a week, a chapter will get too long and we'll need to cut things out. Sometimes a chapter can benefit from a new article or video that came out that you want to add to that chapter. It takes constant pruning and controlling. One way to help me with that constant improving is to have students help me. So that's your final exam. Your final exam is to find an improvement to this course, present that improvement to me, and once you get me to agree with you, that's your final exam. You're done. It could be as simple as finding an article or video that you want to be added to the course, and you tell me why and how to add it. It could be as simple as taking something out of the course and why it's either not needed or redundant. Or it could be something more substantial, like adding a second mini quiz every week of multiple choice questions on retrospective topics so that the course has a more cumulative aspect to it. Sure. But that's your final exam. That's the other 5% of your grade. You can do that anytime you want. Obviously, when this course is online, you can work ahead as far as you want. The whole course is online already. Speaking of which, part of the relationship with money and a healthy relationship with money is not getting behind. So as of quiz 5, I will add 5% to every quiz score you have for every quiz that you turn in 2 days early. Quizzes are typically due at midnight on Friday. As of quiz 5, if you start turning quizzes in by Wednesday midnight, then I'll add 5% to your quiz score, whatever your quiz score is. So yeah, you get a perfect quiz. Now it's 105% because you got that 5% bonus for turning it in by Wednesday midnight. Oh, and speaking of grading, grading in this course is relative, which means, let's say some quiz is worth 57 points, but the highest score anyone in class gets is 54 points. Fine. 54 points, the score that someone actually achieved, becomes my definition of 100%. I'm not going to use 100% as the points I asked. I'm going to use 100% as the points that someone actually achieved. That leaves me free to ask wild questions. And if I ask some wild questions and no one gets perfection, fine. Perfection is defined as what someone actually achieved. Just like the Olympics, like track and field in the Olympics, right? It's not whether someone ran the mile in a certain time. It's, hey, you were the fastest in that race, you win. You're the 100%. You're the gold medal. That's how I grade this course. It gives me some freedom in asking questions, and it guarantees that someone's getting 100% on every quiz. So now the competition for grades is how you do versus your competition in the class, not how you do versus me. Who cares about me? I'm just teaching this stuff. What's important is how well you're learning this stuff compared to your peers. That shows how hard you've been working. Okay. Also, to change up the pace a little bit, as of some week in the course, is it 5? As of the 7th chapter in the course, 7th week in the course, I'll give some students a change of pace. Every student in here will have 1 week during which they can submit a PowerPoint presentation. It doesn't have to be PowerPoint necessarily, but it typically is. A presentation of that coming week's material instead of doing the quiz. Just so you have a change of pace and it's not a grind of quizzes every single week. You'll have a presentation 1 week that you can opt for. You don't have to. You could take the regular quiz instead. but you may choose to take the PowerPoint. And whoever has the best PowerPoint of that week, of those who were assigned that week for potentially doing a presentation, whoever has the best presentation that week gets credit for their final exam. And I'm going to post your presentation on the course so everyone can see your presentation as an introduction to that chapter. Okay, another wrinkle, as of quiz 8, as of week 8, I'll give you an extra early bird bonus. We have the Wednesday for quiz 5 and later. You turn the quiz in 2 days early. On Wednesday, you get extra 5% to your score, right? Well, as of quiz 8, you turn your quiz 4 days in early, because remember, timing's up to you. This is online. You can go as fast as you want. You turn quizzes in by Monday midnight instead of Friday midnight, and I will look it over Tuesday, the next day, and let you know which answer you have, the first answer you have that has an imperfection. So if you turn in by Monday midnight and it's perfect, then on Tuesday I'll say it's perfect, don't change a thing. Or I'll say, oop, your first imperfection is in question number 4. And I won't tell you that, that's all I'll tell you as a clue. But then at least you'll know. You know, the 1 through 3 are perfect, and you can work on 4, and you have to worry about wonder about the ones after that. You can still turn in by Wednesday midnight, right? Because I told you that on Tuesday. You still get the 5%. It's just another little bonus for being early, because a lot of relationship with money consists of bonuses for being early. Okay. That's about it for syllabus stuff. There's only one thing I want to warn you about that's very, very irritating, and that is a quirk about how Canvas, which is the online platform we use at Winston-Salem State, treats quizzes, which is if you leave a quiz, or if you get booted offline, or your computer crashes, if you leave a quiz for whatever reason, you're allowed to come back and keep changing it up until the deadline. Not a problem. But every time you leave a quiz and go back to it, if you, let's say you did the whole quiz, then you left, and then you said, wait a minute, I think I have a change for number 4. So you go back to the quiz and you edit number 4. That's not a problem if the deadline hasn't come yet. What is a problem is that questions 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, etc. will be erased. If you go back to Canvas after leaving it, you've got to re-enter all your answers. That can be, depending on your internet connection, etc., that can be very frustrating. So I do suggest, as you're taking a quiz, to keep your answers somewhere else in Word or somewhere that won't disappear, so that if you go back to the quiz, you can re-enter all your answers very easily and conveniently. It's a shame that there's that quirk, but there you have it. Okay, then on the syllabus, there's a bunch of mandatory stuff. It should be there for every course you ever take. So I'm not going to go through describing it all, but it's there. And then finally on the syllabus is the week by week topics of the week of what we're covering and the due dates on things. It's a chapter a week. This is the introduction chapter. This is this week. And it's all known in advance. Okay. That is the syllabus, and then the first day lecture. And I think I'm going to break this into 2 parts because we're already over 13 minutes. Don't know how big this file will be. So in part 2 of chapter 1, we'll go through the lecture stuff I usually go through for chapter 1. All right. I will see you then in a little bit.